I've been asked a bit about wood burning stoves just recently, so here is my prototype example that I've made out of an old gas bottle. It's been used a few times now and I've noticed a few problems with it, so I thought I'd make this video just to try and explain some of the design flaws that I've discovered and ways that you can overcome them. Basically all this is a gas bottle with two doors cut in it, one here to load your firewood, big one, and a little one at the bottom. Now when I made this I thought this would be the door for raking the ash out under the fire, but looking into the ins and outs of how you burn wood a little bit more and doing some research on the internet, I found that you don't actually put a fire grate in a wood burner. Wood burns better if the air is admitted to it from the top or just above the fire rather than below it, and the wood needs to sit on its own bed of hot ash. If the ash falls through into the fire grate, it doesn't burn so well. So you could get away with just putting one door in and maybe put the door a bit lower down to give more space for the smoke to circulate at the top, because the smoke needs to circulate and the hot smoke needs to kind of burn again, do a secondary burn, to get as hot as possible and give you the most heat from the stove. Now when I made this stove it didn't have a hot plate on the top, it didn't have a flat hot plate, it was just a curved top of the gas bottle, and I put the hot plate on as a afterthought and just welded it on across the front here and round the back here of the flue. Now the problem with this is the top plate doesn't get very hot, because what happens is when you're outside using it, the cold air and the wind just goes straight in through there, and there's a little gap in there, it goes straight through there and it cools this top plate down, so it's a real struggle to get it up to boil a kettle full of water. I put a small kettle on this yesterday and I struggled to get it up to boiling point. In fact, I've never had it up to boiling point before yesterday, but yesterday I really concentrated on stoking the stove and keeping it hot, and it took me an hour and a half to get it to boiling point, which obviously isn't very good. So what I'm now doing to stop the wind going under here, I'm now adding more of these round the side, and you can see I've tacked a metal piece on that side already, just tack welded it on, and I'm going to do the same at this side to kind of box it in. A, it'll stop the air going up under there, and B, it'll give more metal for the heat to transfer from the main part of the bottle to this actual hot plate. So hopefully that will help me get things a bit warmer. Now the other problem with getting it hot is a lot of your hot air and hot gases escape straight up the flue, because that's just basically a bit of 4-inch pipe welded to a 4-inch hole cut in the top of the bottle, welded on round there as you can see. So it's just a hole straight up that goes straight up that pipe. Now one way you can help to make the wood burn a bit better is to interfere with that updraft of hot gases by putting in a baffle plate inside the burner. So I'm going to make a baffle plate and fit in, and what you basically do is fit it inside the burner underneath the flue pipe, and you fit it at an angle. Now I've made a cardboard template for the time being, just to get the shape right. There's my template, and that will fit inside somewhere there, sort of at that angle, so the hot gases are forced around that plate. They will hit it at the bottom then they'll travel up along the plate, swirling as they go, and then go over the top of the plate and up the flue pipe. So I'm going to do that. That will also get hot because those gases are the hottest part of the combustion process. That will also get hot, and that steel plate will also transmit more heat to where it's welded on in this kind of area. So again, it'll help to get the burner hotter and keep more heat out. So that is basically the story so far. I'm going to carry on doing these modifications. I've got another bit of steel in the vise here ready to be cut to make this side plate. I'll do the modifications and I'll get back to you and let you know whether or not they've worked.